Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another episode of the FE review exam series. In this video, we'll be looking to solve a system of forces problem again. This one is another beam problem. At first, it may look a little bit complex given that it has an L shape and a force out of an angle. May appear a little bit intimidating, but it's pretty simple. So we'll get to it and you'll see how simple this can be resolved. So the problem reads as follows. The moment of the force shown below with respect to point X is most nearly 9,500 counterclockwise, 16,000 clockwise, or 15,000 counterclockwise. The very first step on this one will be to break down our 500-pound force into its X and Y component. So quickly we're going to draw the triangle here. So this will be Fy, this is Fx, and that is the 500-pound force. And obviously we have a 60-degree angle there. So this is basic mathematics. This is very simple, but if you always been curious as far as how can people quickly break down their force into their X and Y component, there is a quicker way to remember it is SOHCAHTOA. So S stands for sine, O stands for opposite, and H for hypotenuse. And C stands for cosine, A for adjacent, and H for hypotenuse. T for tangent, O for opposite, and A for adjacent. So in this particular example, we won't need the TOA portion, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. However, as far as the Y components to start with, we can see that the Y component of the force is actually the opposite side of the 60-degree angle that we were given. So if we were to calculate the Y component, we'll need to use this part. So sine of 60 degrees is equal to the opposite side of the 60-degree angle, which is Fy, over the hypotenuse, which is our 500-pound force. Similarly, I keep on switching to the eraser, but similarly for the X component of our force, it's going to be cosine 60 degrees is equal to the adjacent side of that 60-degree angle, which is Fx, over 500 pounds, which is our hypotenuse. So we're going to go ahead and erase this part. So if we plug in our number in the calculator and solve for Fy, we get 433 pounds roughly. And as far as Fx, we get 250 pounds. Now that we've broken down our force into its X and Y components, we're going to redraw the free body diagram and analyze it from there. Drawing down a little bit to have some space. 40 feet here, 10 feet, 150 pounds. And then we have Fy, which is 433 pounds. So the next step will be to apply the definition of moment to be able to see what force to multiply with what distance. So if you recall, the moment of a force about a point is the magnitude of the force times the perpendicular distance of the line of action of the force from the point. So as we can see here, the perpendicular distance to the 250-pound force is 10 feet. And similarly for the 433-pound force, the distance perpendicular is 40 feet. So the moment about X will be equal to 433 times. So the moment about X will be 433 times 40. So one of the things that we'll have to remember to keep in mind are the sign. So if we assume a counterclockwise moment to be positive, a clockwise moment will be negative. So 433 times 40 will be positive, and then minus 250 times the perpendicular distance to the force, which is 10 feet. If you plug this number in the calculator, we get 433 times 40 minus 250 times 10. That gives us a positive 14,820 pound-feet. And looking at the proposed answer, since this is a positive value, first of all, we'll see that since we assume positive to be counterclockwise moment, so this will be counterclockwise as well. And now looking back at our proposed answer, we only had 15,000, which is the closest to our value. So one of the things that we'll also have to remember is that for the FE exam, they generally don't really give you exact proposed answer in all the questions. So sometimes they'll just give you a nearest value to whatever you calculated the answer to be, and you just have to round it up. And as we can see here, 14,820, if we were to round it up from the last three value, that will give us 15,000. So please feel free to share, like, and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any question. I'll be glad to help. See you guys on the next one.